John Wayne Gacy. You're a teenage runaway, tired, hungry, and out of options. A man in his 30s pulls over beside you. He smiles. Calm, friendly, says his name is John. He owns a construction business. He offers you work. Cash. No questions. You can start immediately. You hesitate, but not for long. You need the money. His house is quiet, suburban, normal. Nothing feels out of place. Inside, he hands you a drink. Talks about jobs, schedules, easy work. He jokes, laughs, feels safe. Then he says he wants to show you something. A trick. He pulls out a pair of handcuffs. Think you can escape these? You smirk slightly. Feels childish, harmless. You turn around. The metal clicks shut. That sound lingers. Because right after it, everything changes. His smile disappears. His voice lowers. Slower now. Controlled. You try to move your hands. They don't budge. Your chest tightens. You turn. Too late. He forces you down. Hard. Your legs are tied. Fast. Efficient. You start shouting. No response. No footsteps. No voices. Nothing. The house feels sealed. Like no one was ever meant to hear you. He grabs a rope. Wraps it around your neck. Ties it in a way that feels deliberate. Practiced. Then he takes a stick and begins twisting. At first it's pressure, then pain, then panic. You try to breathe. Nothing. Just short, broken attempts. Your body fights. Instinct takes over. You kick, twist, struggle. It doesn't matter. The room fades in and out. Your ears ring. Your vision narrows. He doesn't rush. That's the worst part. Everything slows. Your strength drains. Your movements weaken. Your thoughts scatter. And then, nothing. Your body is dragged away, hidden beneath the house where many others already are. John Wayne Gacy was arrested in 1978 after multiple victims were traced back to him. Police later discovered dozens of bodies buried beneath his home. The Zodiac Killer. You're sitting beside a quiet lake in Northern California. The water is still. The air is warm. It feels like a normal afternoon. You're with your girlfriend, talking, relaxed. No reason to feel uneasy. Then she pauses. Her grip tightens on your arm. She points toward the trees. Someone's watching us. At first, you don't see anything. Just shadows, branches, silence. Then, movement. A man steps out from the trees. Slowly, he's wearing dark clothes. A strange hood covers his entire face. A symbol is drawn across the front. It doesn't feel real. He walks toward you. Not rushing, not hiding, just approaching. Your body tenses. Instinct tells you something is wrong. Very wrong. He stops a few feet away. Then he speaks. Calm, controlled. He says he's an escaped prisoner, says he just needs your car. Your money, nothing else. You nod. You don't argue, you don't fight. You just want this to end. He tells you both to lie face down. You hesitate for a second, then you do it. The ground feels cold beneath you. Your heart is pounding now, too loud, too fast. He hands your girlfriend rope, tells her to tie your hands. Your mind races, but you stay still. Because any sudden move, it feels like a mistake. The rope tightens around your wrists, then he ties her the same way. For a moment, everything is quiet again. Then it changes. Without warning. Violence. Fast. Brutal. Uncontrolled. You hear her scream. Sharp. Sudden. Then again. And again. You try to move, try to break free, but your hands won't come loose. Panic takes over. Your breathing becomes shallow. Desperate. You roll, struggle, push against the ground. Trying anything. Then he turns toward you. You don't see his face, only the hood. The symbol. Burned into your vision. Pain hits suddenly. Your body jerks. You gasp. Another strike. Then another. Your strength fades quickly, too quickly. The world becomes distant, muted. Like everything is happening far away. You hear footsteps, then nothing. Silence returns to the lake, just like before. Later, investigators would find a message left behind. A symbol, dates, a signature. The man would become known as the Zodiac Killer. He would send letters to newspapers, coded messages, claims of more victims. Some survived to describe him, many did not. And despite years of investigation, he was never caught. Andrei Chikatilo. You're standing at a quiet train station in the Soviet Union. It's cold, late, almost empty. People pass by without looking at each other. A man approaches you, middle-aged, glasses. He looks ordinary. He speaks softly, polite, calm. He says he knows a faster way to the next town, a shortcut through the woods. You hesitate, just for a second, but he doesn't feel dangerous, not at all. You follow him. The path starts narrow, dirt under your feet, trees on both sides. At first it feels fine, just quiet. Then, too quiet. The sounds of the station disappear behind you. No voices, no movement, just wind through the trees. You slow down, something feels off. You turn slightly, and that's when it happens. He grabs you from behind. The strength is sudden, unexpected. You fall hard to the ground. The air leaves your lungs. Before you can react, the attack begins. Fast, violent, chaotic. There's no warning, no words, just movement. You try to push him away. Your hands shake. Your body won't respond fast enough. Pain hits in waves, sharp, disorienting. You try to scream, but it comes out broken, weak. The forest absorbs the sound. No one hears. Everything feels unreal, like your mind can't keep up with what's happening. Your thoughts scatter. You try to understand. You can't. The sky above you flickers through branches. Light, then shadow, then light again. Your body weakens, your movement slow. The cold ground presses against you. You feel it more now. Breathing becomes harder, each breath shorter than the last. The sounds fade. The forest goes quiet again. Just like before. He stands up, calm again, like nothing happened. Your vision blurs, edges fade, and then darkness. For years, attacks like this happened near stations and wooded paths. Always sudden, always isolated. Andrei Chikatilo was eventually arrested in 1990 after a long investigation. He had been moving through crowds unnoticed, blending in, waiting until it was too late. Jeffrey Dahmer. You're sitting in a small bar in Milwaukee. Low lights, quiet music. It feels like any other night. A man sits beside you, blonde hair, soft voice. He introduces himself as Jeff. He smiles, a little awkward, not threatening. He offers to buy you a drink. You accept. The conversation is easy. He talks about photography, says he pays people to pose for pictures. It sounds strange, but harmless. Then he makes an offer. Quick cash, just a few photos at his apartment. You hesitate, just for a moment, but you need the money, so you agree. The walk is short. His apartment building looks normal, quiet. Inside, everything feels still, too still. He offers you another drink, stronger this time. You take a few sips. At first, nothing. Then, something feels wrong. Your head grows heavy. Your vision softens. The room starts to tilt. You try to focus. You can't. His voice is still talking, but it sounds far away now, distant. You try to stand. Your legs don't respond. Your body gives in. You collapse. Darkness. Time passes. You don't know how long. Then you wake up. Something's wrong. Your head is pounding. Your mouth feels dry. You try to move your arms. They don't move. You look down. You're restrained. Your heart starts racing. Fast. Loud. The room feels smaller now. Closed in. Jeff is standing nearby, watching. He's different. Quiet. Empty. The friendliness is gone. He steps closer. Slowly. He doesn't shout. Doesn't rush. He just explains. Calmly. What's going to happen? Your breathing becomes uneven, shallow. You try to pull free. It doesn't work. Your strength isn't there. The air feels heavy, harder to take in. Panic builds, faster now. You try to think, to understand, but your thoughts slip. The room fades again. Sound disappears. Everything goes distant. And then, nothing. Jeffrey Dahmer was arrested in 1991 after one victim managed to escape. Investigators later uncovered the full scale of what had been happening inside that apartment. Hidden, silent, for years.